Hey guys, what's up? 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 And this intro is like 5 WhatsApps too long, so I'm sorry for that. Anyways, what's up? What's going on? Today's video is the worst disorders to have in human history. So if ADHD is not on there, this list is a lie. Let's go.
These are the worst mental and physical disorders in human history that nobody talks about. Number 5, boanthropy. Although it may sound fake, boanthropy is a mental disorder in which a person believes they're a cow. Not only do they think they're a cow, but they act like one too by walking on all fours, eating grass, and making cow noises. The worst thing of all is that these people develop this out of nowhere after living completely normal lives. But studies
What? Is this real? How real is this? I feel like. Wait, hold on. Where's the mic? Okay. I hope you guys can hear me now. But this seems fake. You believe you're a cow. It's time travel. It's time travel. Anything that I don't understand, I attribute it to time travel. So this is just time
show
travel.
it's closely linked to
If you want a video on me trying to explain how this mental health is time travel, just comment it. I'll make it a YAP session. Let's go.
Sadly, when these people are found in public, they're extremely malnourished and typically on the verge of death from crawling around all day and only eating grass. The first real case of this dates back to the year 1000 when the Prince of Bide started making cow noises and asked that he'd be killed so his meat and flesh could be consumed. However, there's also a biblical text that dates back to around 600 BC when the first person to get it was the king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Only some depict the text in this way because it doesn't directly say, it just says he was driven away from humans and he ate grass with the ox. Let me know what you think.
But he was punished by
Number
God.
4, Stone Man's disease. Imagine every time you got a bruise, instead of the tissue under your skin healing by reabsorbing the blood, it just turned into bone. Well, that's exactly what 2,500 people deal with every day. Stone Man's disease, also known as FOP syndrome, is an extremely rare genetic disorder that turns tendons and muscles into bone throughout someone's life. Since this gradually takes over the body and eventually stops all movement, the person has to make the difficult decision of what position they want to spend the rest of their lives in. Some of the worst parts about this disorder are the treatment options and the mental battles people have to go through. One treatment option is to surgically remove the extra bone, which sounds good in theory, but to remove the extra bone, it will only make the person's bone growth speed up during the healing process because irritated muscles and bruises turn into bone quicker as they heal. And the scariest part of all is the isolation. Over time, they quickly lose their independence and ability to speak. So even though their physical body is cursed, their mind doesn't change. People with this disorder usually end up in deep depression because the life they once had crumbles away and the majority of their thoughts are focused on the fact that they can't do anything to save themselves. Number 3, alien hand syndrome.
This is crazy. Is this real? Why are there no pictures? I want to see pictures. Alien hand syndrome. Okay.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to only have one hand? Well, how about two hands, but you can't physically control what one hand does? Because that's exactly what alien hand syndrome does to people. It's when a person loses complete control of their hand, and it acts as if it has a mind of its own. This syndrome is developed sometimes from brain tumors and strokes, but many people underestimate just how serious this condition is. These people struggle in public because their hand will point at random people and sometimes flip other people off. Other times, when everything seems to be going well, maybe they're just talking with an old friend who happens to be holding a drink, and all of a sudden their out of control hand grabs their friend's drink and then spills it on them. Then they have to
Nah, this is like Tourette's syndrome, but for the hand. Cause how?
explain they have a rare disorder called alien hand syndrome, which just sounds made up. But one of the worst parts of having this disorder is sleeping. Even when they're asleep, their hand continues to do whatever it wants. Oftentimes, they'll wake up after hitting themselves or wake up feeling violated after their own hand touches them. And no, that's not even a joke. People go so long battling their hand that they feel violated after it touches you know where. Number 2, disassociated.
You can't tell me this. This is real.
identity disorder. DID is when somebody has multiple personalities, which makes them act like a completely different person,
Yeah.
and in some cases, animals, or even a stationary object. These other personalities are called alters and could take over the body at any point in time. Even though the majority of people with this disorder live day-to-day lives, people who have serious cases are held in psychiatric hospitals because there's a high chance that one of their personalities is a serial killer or just someone who commits crime. The way people get DID isn't through genetics or brain injury, it's actually a coping mechanism children use after they go through repetitive trauma in their
Oh,
childhood.
Charlie.
Creating different alters is their way of protecting themselves so they don't have traumatic memories. Whenever an alter takes over, they can decide whether the main person can see what's going on. For example, Encina Severa says when her 3-year-old alter named Minnie takes over, it's like she's watching what's happening through her eyes while sitting in a movie theater. However, when her other alters take over, it's like she starts sleeping and can't remember anything she did while controlling her body. Another interesting thing she talked about is the only way she can communicate with the other alters is through a journal where they write back and forth to each other, talking about their lives. Number 1, fatal familial insomnia. You may have heard someone say they can't sleep, but this insomnia is very different. 1 out of 3 adults have normal sleeping issues, but there are only 50 families in the world who carry this genetic disorder for fatal insomnia. This disorder works in 4 different stages. The first stage lasts 3 to 6 months, and most commonly affects people in their 40s. The people who suffer from this start by having trouble sleeping, and when they do finally fall asleep, they say they have unusual dreams that cause anxiety and in some cases even depression. From their lack of sleep, even when they're awake, they have to deal with panic attacks and paranoia. Stage 2 lasts for 5 to 9 months, and it's basically the same thing but just twice as bad. In this stage, you begin to have trouble moving around and will experience some hallucinations while being awake. Stage 3 is the shortest of them all for a reason. Lasting around 3 months, this is when the person reaches complete insomnia, meaning it's basically impossible for them to sleep and they begin to have intense hallucinations. Since they're constantly awake, even though this is the shortest stage, 3 months feels like 6. But the 4th and final stage of the disease lasts up to 6 months or more. At this point, whatever brains they had left rots, and they lose all sense of reality. This stage starts after the person begins facing extreme dementia, meaning they have total memory loss of what everything is. Soon after that, they lose all of their ability to move or speak, which is then followed by a coma and eventually eternal sleep. Now like and subscribe.
Bro.
So, since AI
I don't even know what to say. What can you say to this? Oh, this is so sad. Wow, but the split personality one, I like that one. But I don't want it for myself. I want it. Okay, I don't want like bad other people in my bad authors. I want like other people to just work. If you've watched Rick and Morty, just watch the Ninth Family, that episode. That's what I'm talking about. Wow, this video is very, 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 very down. Subscribe. This would you subscribe after watching this? Come on.